I recently survived a PhD in neuroscience at Harvard, and I'm here to give you the tea on life in the lab. Starting with the lab environment itself, 3 out of 10. This isn't a photo of my actual lab because I can't take photos or videos in there for intellectual property purposes, but it comes close enough. You've got your questionable amount of sunlight, you've got bottles and bottles of chemicals with varying purposes, most of which you do not want to touch with your bare hands. And why would I bother to spend so much time in an environment like this? Well, I study the carbon dioxide system in mosquito brains to figure out how information on human prey gets transmitted. So these bad girls now attack me more than ever. Moving on to dissections. This is only a 6 out of 10, and I rated it this high because I'm good at it. Have you ever tried to remove a mosquito brain from the head capsule? It's like peeling an apple the size of a speck of dust with just a pair of forceps. So this is the view screen of the microscope, and I was just able to get this picture by sticking my phone in the lens, and that like white curly thing above my head is a mosquito brain that I personally dissected, and this right here, this like hairy thing, that's one of the antennae. Moving on to the ultramicrotome. Maybe this is an 8 out of 10. This is again a really zoomed in picture of the diamond blade. So, diamonds are a microscopist's best friend. And you use that really tiny blade right there to slice brain tissue into 1/1000th the width of a human hair. That's 40 nanometers. And you want to make sure that you stay consistent with these, because if you lose more than 2 sections in a row, your data set will be toast. You will not be able to annotate it. The cells will not make sense to you, and then you'll have to start all over. Here's a transmission electron microscope, and I'm giving this a 9 out of 10. I used one of these bad boys to actually image the thin mosquito brain slices. It comes to a resolution of about 5000x, 7500x. Here's an image tile taken by that microscope. It's probably something like 1/100000th of the information that I collected, which is pretty crazy when you think about it. So those uneven lines that are not straight, those are the cell membranes. These dark spots with the folded up membranes inside, those are mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell, yay! And over here, which I'm circling, is a chemical synapse where the cell to the sort of bottom left is talking to the cell to the upper right. Those tiny little circles are synaptic vesicles, which fuse with the membrane and dump out their contents. And I just think it's really amazing that all of these little organelles that you learn about in biology class in middle school and high school, I finally got to see them with my own 2 eyes with my big girl microscope. I docked 1 point off the microscope rating because it's really, really hard, and yearly X-ray certifications are annoying. The life of a PhD student actually has a lot of other facets besides physically spending time in lab, so I spent a lot of time teaching. And this I would give like a million out of 10. It's the best. You're imparting knowledge to the next batch of neuroscientists, and you can help them reach their dreams. It's a huge responsibility and also a huge honor, so I would teach people science all the time if I could. The next thing on my list is pay. I'm giving this a solid 1 out of 10. We famously get paid a pittance. If you spent your entire monthly salary in Boston, you could get a 1-bedroom apartment. My school caught heat last year because it actually held a workshop on how to apply for food stamps for graduate students. Why are most of us living with 3 roommates in our late 20s with a master's degree and a full-time job? Someone tell me. And finally, power dynamics. Your mileage may vary. As a queer Asian American lady, I had to fend off bullying and harassment from mostly men. I was surrounded by men, from assumptions about my intelligence to being assigned secretarial work to straight up sexual harassment. Some of the guys in charge just didn't know any better. My new murder mystery, PANGU'S SHADOW, is set in an academic lab in space, and it gets deep into the nuances of academic power structures, which are really just a reflection of the real world. And finally, work spouses, work spice. 11 out of 10. I've always had close friends in lab. It happens slowly without you realizing it. For example, when the microscope broke and I troubleshot it with the engineer, who is still one of my close friends. We sat in the basement for an entire summer, basically pounding our heads against the scope, and, well, I was crying, he wasn't. Or when I was just learning to write Python code and the data scientist in lab taught me what a for loop was. So thanks to my work friends, this big dodo finished her experiments. And if you disagree with any of my ratings, I'd be glad to hear why.